Welcome to another TTT video on checking documents in the LMS. We'll be going over accessing the calendar, reviewing event details on the calendar, and showing the Manage Files feature. Let's get right into the LMS. I'm going to go ahead and bring over my LMS window. And again, I'm going to be impersonating a trainer, Jeff Tedesco. And if you recall from the last video, we were able to get to the calendar by going to the name of the trainer, in this case, Jeff Tedesco, and then of course clicking on Instructor Calendar next. So, as we reviewed the last time, we had blue, green, and red as examples of colors on the calendar, and just as an example, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Excel 2010 Part 3 that I see on the calendar. And it looks like I see ILT and OLL, which you should remember from your previous chapters. That means instructor-led training and online live, or this is a blended or hybrid class where both remote and physical students could be participating. So the name of the event can actually reveal to you quite a bit about the class. In order to access details about the class, we're going to go ahead and click on it, and we'll see that it brings us to the page related to the class. Now I can see some information about here, such as the trainer, what classroom it's being held in, and then of course what group. This represents the partnership of Global OLL. As I scroll down, I can see additional information such as the number of enrollments and the labs that are available in the class. We scroll towards the bottom. There are some other additional pieces of information that will be useful to you, such as a notes section, and sometimes you might see courseware information here depending on what type of event it is, and then we can see there's additional information. As we scroll up to the top, one of the more useful features is, of course, the roster, which will give you details about the event. We'll be covering the roster a little bit later on, but you do see the center where those students are located. You can see what room they're in, and then the completion status. Obviously, this is a class in the past. Over to the far right, there's some other pieces of information we'll be going over as well. All right, so that's just a standard OLL ILT class that we might see on our calendar. Let's go back to the main calendar, and I'll click on my name again, and then to Instructor Calendar. And I can see some other types of events on here. And again, your franchise may handle this differently, but I do see the prefix on-site, and I see a prefix on here of private. So again, on-site simply means that the class is going to be held at the client location, and private means that the class will be held at the New Horizons location, and it will be just for one client. So I'm going to click on, let's see, this one looks good here, the on-site custom office at the U.S. Department of Energy. And I can see there's some notes along the top. So not only can notes exist at the bottom of the event, they can also exist at the top. Again, your franchise may handle this a little bit differently. And I can also see that 15 students are going to be there, instructor laptop. And then we scroll down to the bottom, and then I see additional information in the notes. It looks like this franchise has put courseware keys in the notes section. Again, that may be slightly different for you. If I scroll back up to the top, what's very useful is the Manage Files button. So when I click on Manage Files, I'm going to see some documentation related to this training event. Again, it's unlikely you'll see this on the standard global OLL schedule, but if you have on-sites or you have private events, you'll see that there is some documentation that can be posted here. This would be internal, related to operations, and of course would be specific to your operations team and to your franchise. So that's pretty much it. Accessing the calendar, reviewing event details, and showing the Manage Files option. Thanks.